Hey everybody, welcome back. It is another week here and we are going to do another Top War video for you. Thanks for the patience in getting to this video. Just had to get some distractions out of the way here before we get into it. But today we are going to go over equipment creation, what you can create, how to create it, and how to put it on. And then we'll also get into component mastery. So for these two things, your account will need to be level 65 to do the equipment, and your account will be level 70 before you can get into the mastery. So for the equipment here, we have the general picture of the arsenal pulled up where you can configure equipment, you can produce your materials, or select what you want to craft. So to start off here, we're going to get into what we can craft. Now, I have one pulled up here. It is a composite armor for my Navy that I've been working on my main account here. As you can see, I have it highlighted in blue, and it shows the one blueprint above it that I have for it. And it has 20 out of 20 on the material, 30 out of 30, and then a 5 out of 20. Those are essentially the materials that we're going to talk about here in a second that you can create to make these. Now, these equipments are going to be more toward your end game player and your end game set. But my suggestion is you don't make anything that is not purple, even at a lower level. So for example, I have a piece of equipment selected that I'll show you here in a little bit. It is a green. I only have that for the purpose of this video. So you have essentially 5 different sections on this that you can select. You will get blueprints, and there will be Army, Navy, and Air Force of all types in each section. You can create those for all 5 slots. Now, to begin your production, you're going to have to go back to the main screen under the Produce Materials tab that you see right there. And then you can come in here and you can start creating your material. Now, for me, I'm creating steel because I'm working on that purple equipment that you just saw. But for those of you who just hit level 65, just go ahead and start something. No matter if you have blueprints or not to create equipment, just continually start to harvest your supplies because they take a long time to create, and it is a very valuable tool to your account. So you'll see here that you get 5 slots to select equipment, and it's about a 3-hour window for each one of these to be completed. So you'll have to check in a couple times per day, collect the materials that you've created, and then go ahead and select on some more of the materials that you want to keep harvesting. Now, as you can tell here, these pieces are all a white or a gray, if you will. Now, those go up in rarity, just like the blueprints and the equipment. You have the gray, green, blue, purple, and gold. Like I said, I would tell you to only make purple and gold equipment. Don't waste your time on anything below that. Here is where the time consumption comes in. For every 4 gray pieces that you collect, that will create you 1 green. 4 greens equals a blue, 4 blue equals a purple, 4 purple equal a gold. As you can see, when it takes 3 hours to get 10 gray, this is going to be the time-consuming part. Now, you can get these as rewards from events as well, but it's pretty minimal. It's not really going to make a difference. You're going to have to put in a lot of time. And unfortunately, up until this point with Top War, there's no way to speed that process up. Now, when you finally have a piece of equipment built and ready to go, you can go into your Configure Equipment tab from the main Arsenal page. And as you can see here, I made a quick green one to throw up here. It's a multi-barrel firearm for my Navy. Gives me a 25% attack bonus and a 5% HP bonus. Now, as I referred earlier here into the equipment crafting, you do have the 5 different slots. So if you make one Navy equipment in every single slot, you can put them all on here and have a ton of buffs. Now, as you get to level 70-ish, you should probably be nearing your first material to put on one of your Army, Navy, or Air Force. But do just take into account that this is an end game thing. This is going to take a while. Do not get discouraged. This is going to make the difference once you hit level 80. Now, I kept it pretty short and sweet there. Didn't get into too many intricate details. You can ask those kind of questions in the comments below. I'm going to step over to Mastery now when we talk about a level 70 account. Everybody is aware of components at that point. You know what components are for PvP, what are for PvE, and you get the mastery. And I'm going to focus on one at a time. The first one that I'm going to talk about is the weapon mastery when you get into these. Now, it will suggest with a green box in the bottom left-hand corner with an X2, meaning ×2 bonus for points. Now, mastery is all based off of component levels and points. For a level 1 component, you will get 1 point. And then as you progress farther on and farther on, a level 8 component will give you the equivalent of all of the level 1s that were put into it to make a level 8. So as you can see with the screenshot that I have here, it takes roughly 1,500 level 1 components for me to level up my mastery to each level. Now, this is where you're going to have to get picky and choosy. I do not suggest going all out into your mastery right away until you have some level 10 components, especially a high rate of fire and the weapon buff, probably armor buff as well. Get all of those 3 to level 10 first, then maybe start spending off some of your extra components. Now, the second part is a defense mastery. It's exactly the same way as the weapon mastery, but you can see the different types of components that will give you the multipliers here. You can't just use any component in any one of these masteries. They're all very specific. And then the last one is the peripheral mastery. You see your hit percentages here and your dexterity buffs are also in there. Then once you convert enough of these components and to upgrade your mastery, that is where the mastery research papers come into hand. Now, I personally don't buy any of these with gems or from any special event. I have been hoarding them from my radar missions for quite a while here. Actually, while creating some of the screen grabs for this video, I actually bumped myself up to, I believe, level 7 or level 8 mastery. So you're going to go through quite a bit of those. If you are not somebody who's going to play, every time your radar updates, I definitely suggest trying to find some ways to purchase these mastery pieces. You're going to need a ton of them if you want to do this on all 3 army types. Now, here's the fun part about mastery, and this is what I really enjoyed about it. It's the attributes. So if you get your mastery to level 1 in Navy, you get an 8% attack bonus. Level 2 is an 8% HP. Level 3, another attack, and a level 4, another HP bonus. And for me, I suggest getting all of your masteries up to level 5 if you can, because it's going to give you buffs for all units at every level 5, whether it's Army, Navy, or Air Force. The buffs will go towards everything. And that can be a huge deal in the long run. And to be honest with you, getting up to mastery level 5 isn't as bad as some of the other levels. You could probably get them all pretty quickly without, using up all of your decent components. Now, it does get a little more aggressive. If you see here, I'll have levels 6 through 10 put up, and I won't go through all of them. But it does start to give you higher level buff. Instead of an 8%, it gives you 10, but it splits it over HP and attack. And then, of course, at the max level 10 mastery, you get another massive buff. A 15% all unit HP bonus here in the Navy side, and then an all unit decreased damage taken of a 5%. So, all in all, mastery is going to be pretty complicated, just for the fact of it's going to take a lot and a lot of components to be able to get yourself maxed out. Don't go too far into it. Don't go over level 5 mastery if you don't have level 10 comps already. Get yourself up to level 5 and then focus on getting your level 10 comps for your PvE and your PvP builds. And then go ahead and start dumping everything else into your mastery, because this will really help you out on top of all the equipment. If you focus on your equipment as soon as you hit level 5 and your mastery as soon as you hit level 70, you are going to be able to do a lot more damage than you did at level 60. It will probably be 10 to 12 times the damage if you play your cards right. So that's all for me today for the equipment and the mastery section here. I really do appreciate you coming and checking out the show. Always appreciate your comments, likes, and subscribe. And if you haven't checked it out already, you can find me on Patreon at patreon.com/topwarconnor. There's a couple different options there where you can get a lot of one-on-one time with me, can help you go over anything in your base, your units, your heroes, you name it. We can do it. So hope to hear from you soon, and I will be back shortly with another video. Thank you for watching.